Themba Ngwenya is a young citrus farmer from Doreen near Musina. He started farming here several years ago on this over 500-hectare farm purchased through an auction. The farm produces hundreds of tons of citrus fruit, such as oranges and grapefruit, every year. Ngwenya alleges that market segregation against black farmers is setting them back. He adds that they are required to be members of certain farmers' organizations to facilitate the exporting operation. However, Ngwenya says the intricate process of applying for membership is marred by much red tape.
It's sad because we are using the same production inputs. Your costing per hectare, your fertilizers, the water and the likes. But as a black farmer, you then have a challenge to market access due to you need someone with a proper brand to be able to take your fruit to its proper destination, of which everyone who's farming now is looking for export. So one of the biggest challenges is that when it comes to the pricings, after I've said that we are all using the same resources to actually produce the very same crop, but now our challenge becomes when we must get the actual returns, of which are the same as the other producers. So we had to get like 4,000 rand per ton, whereas other people are getting 6,000 rands per ton.
Ngwenya maintains that with no hope of the situation improving, shutting down operations remains a possibility.
If you're not making money, then you have to close down, because now we are paying tax as everybody else. We are paying the same electricity bills, but at the end of the day, our returns are not going to be the same as the returns of others, so which will result in the business falling down.
Ngwenya is also not ruling out the potential retrenchments of hundreds of workers in his employ.
When you do your capital expenditure for the season, you would have calculated your overtimes that you need to pay people to ensure that the work is done. Your chemicals, your fertilizers and everything else, you would have calculated actually, and also your returns, you would have estimated them in a proper way that is due to everyone who is in the same industry as you. But at the end of the day, if you're not getting the same money as other people, you are getting less, and then you have to start retrenching people.
The agricultural sector has become a serious business opportunity for many young people in Limpopo. The last several years have seen more and more aspiring farmers finding their niche in livestock farming. Cattle breeding is seen as the most lucrative section of the livestock farming business. Due to its natural resistance, resilience and marketability, the Bonsmara cattle is increasingly becoming a sought-after breed for young farmers. But some farmers say auction monopoly and market entitlement by their white counterparts are throwing a spanner in the works. They allege that despite ticking all the boxes, their animals are either turned away or sold at significantly low prices when placed under the hammer.
One of the biggest challenges that we face are market segregation, whereby you'll find that there's certain markets that are for the few, like a few people, and then a few breeders. And then these markets that when we try and penetrate them, it's very difficult. They'll want you to be part of a society. Then when you become part of a society, then to maintain that, the cost of doing that it's so exorbitant that it's so hard for black people to get into that market.
In any industry, there is a barrier to entry to avoid a whole lot of people flooding into that industry and then reducing the amount of income that other people can make in it. I'm very proud of Black South Africans who are going into farming and acquiring these farmlands. And we thank God for that, because there's been an increase in wealth in the Black culture that we can afford to buy farms right off without any government assistance. That's the first barrier that has been broken. The acquiring of land. The large amounts of lands have belonged to the white minority for the longest time, the white farmers. Now, the thing about being pioneers and breaking barriers is that you are going to meet a lot of resistance. And that's exactly what our farmers are facing now. They were not going to throw the Boers were not going to open swing wide the gates and let the black farmers in, and coddle them and make this easy for them. Of course, they're going to, those are the most racist parts of our country. Of course, they're going to close the doors and try to make it as difficult for them as possible, frustrate them out of business, kill their businesses so that they can tell their children to not even attempt farming. And then they continue to be the majority who own farms and employ black people in those farms and continue to abuse them. Now, the first barrier to entry has been broken, and that's owning farms. The second barrier is going to be working so that they get access to markets. Of course, they're going to put red tape. Of course, they're going to make hurdles. Of course, so that it becomes hard for the black farmers. Of course, this was not going to be easy for us. I'm rooting for them. It's going to be frustrating. Some of them are going to run out of money. Some are going to run out of business. Some are not going to make a profit. Some will give up, but you know what? Some are going to win. It's only when you get into the industry that you start to find loopholes. And yes, we are going to get to a point where we are not just players in the market, but we own portions of the market. And but that's going to take years, it's going to take time, and it's going to take frustration. And people are willing to fight through the whole farm thing for them to actually access these markets. It was never going to be easy. They were never going to swing wide the gates and let us in. But you know what? I'm proud of the farmers, and may they just hang in there. May they just hang in there. Because with each generation, it's going to be easier and easier and easier. It will definitely get better. And we've learned the red tape that people need to jump through. Just like they did then, we will do it now. Yeah.